What's up, guys? Hope everyone's having a happy holidays. It looks like Christmas came a little bit early. We got chapter 1070, The Strongest Humans, coming out. So let's jump right into this chapter. Alright, so the cover page looks like we're jumping right back into the Mads story, maybe. What's it say? Oh, no, it says Germa Double Six, an emotionless voyage. The promising scientists that have gathered for the benefit of the world and mankind. And we see everyone back there. Okay, looks like a young Vegapunk, maybe. Alright, cool. But let's jump right into the chapter, see what's going on. Alright, so we're jumping right back into Luffy versus Lucci. Alright, what do we got? It says, the assassin strike that attacks Sentomaru. Alright, so we're jumping right back in. We see Sentomaru, he's fallen to the ground right there. We still got Lucci, he's in his hybrid form. We got Luffy in his Gear 5th form right there. And yeah, like I said, we just see Sentomaru fall into the ground. We see the blood kind of spurting out the back. And then we see Luffy's eyes popping out in the next panel. He's like, oh, sorry. It's because I distracted you. So he's trying to apologize to Sentomaru for getting him just massacred. And Sentomaru's kind of like looking up, blood's coming out of his mouth. He's like, fool, don't underestimate me. All right. And then, okay, so we're getting a little bit of a flashback right there. And he's like, I saw his attack coming, though I should have defended against it properly. So he's like coughing and spurting up blood as he's saying this. He's like, I saw it, I just didn't defend, properly. And then we see Lucci kind of glaringly looking down at him. He's like, you're tough. Just hurry up and lose consciousness already. As long as a person with an authority rank. Okay, so Lucci wants him down and out. That way they're able to control the, not the pacifistas, but the upgraded one, the Seraphims. So, last chapter we kind of had the explanation of the hierarchy as far as who gives commands to the Seraphims, and Lucci them need to take out Sentomaru because he can trump all of them. And he's like, as high as yours is still conscious, we won't be able to control the Seraphim. Yeah, so literally, right, next panel, so it looks like Lucci's coming in again, getting ready to attack Sentomaru and knock him out. And then we just see Sentomaru's like, he's putting up his hands, getting ready to block it. And then, okay, it looks like Luffy's arm's stretching in the next panel. He's going, no. And what the hell is this? So in one panel we see the arm going right across Lucci's face, and then in the next panel it looks like Luffy's face is spinning around, like he's got this big grin, but it's like multiple faces. And then it says whip. Okay, so that was Luffy winding up, getting everything ready, and then he unleashes this massive whip attack right on Lucci, and we just see Lucci flying off into the distance right there. Alright, so how much damage did that do? Okay, so we pull back out now. We see the Cipher Pol guys, the regular guys are kind of looking on, watching it. We see, what's her name, Kaku, and the other one from CP0. He's like, oh, I can't stop. Lucci. And then, okay, and we see Luffy. He's just like stuck spinning from, winding up for that whip attack right there. What do we got next? Okay, we got Chopper down here. He's like, hurry up, Luffy. If you want to save this child, we must quickly go to where Vegapunk is. And then we see, it looks like Jinbei running away too. He's like, I can't stop. I'm spinning too much. So he's like just going nonstop right there. All you see is like his eyes spinning around. And then, what do we got? Okay, so we see Chopper. He kind of like finally looks at him and he realizes it. And he's like freaking out. He's like, where are you going, Luffy? So I guess Luffy looks like, almost like he's drilling into the ground right there. He's like, let's take refuge at the factory. Oh, damn. Okay, we got the Mihawk Seraphim right there, going in hard against the Cipher Pol agents right there. So that's alright. He's got the big sword, and you see him slashing everybody right there, and all the guys are flying back. You can see the slash attack coming out of him. And it says thud. And then, okay, now we got the Jinbei Seraphim. Let's see what he's got. And it says slash. And then, okay, so we just see, like, it looks like the ground is like turning different, kind of like liquidy almost. And then it says, wait, the Seraphim aren't stopping. We have no choice but to deal with them through friendly fire. Even just as kids, their futures will be terrifying. Alright, so Kaku and Lucci are kind of looking on, and they're like, oh, they're not responding to our commands. Like, at this rate, we're not going to make it, so we're going to have to deal with the Seraphims, and we're going to have to use some friendly fire. Otherwise, we're not going to be making out of it. So do you guys think that these three Cipher Pol guys, Lucci, Kaku, and Stussy, are going to be able to take out the Seraphims, plus Luffy and Sentomaru if he gets back up? I'm thinking that's a bit of a tall tale, but let's see. All right, he says, regarding that ability, Vegapunk. And then, okay, so we see Frankie, he's looking at it, and he's, like, remembering Senor Pink. He's like, that's Snotty Kid Jinbei's ability. That's a swim fruit ability, right? And we see Frankie crying, so is Frankie thinking that, Senor Pink died or something, and that's how he was able to get the devil fruit power? It's the ability of my brother in arms, Senor Pink from the Don Quixote family. In this world, there are no two devil fruits that are the same. Don't tell me he's dead. Yeah, so Frankie's like, no, he's a man. Like, we fought this battle. Like, don't tell me my man is dead. He's like, oh, so you noticed it. The one you're referring to is a convict and impelled down right now. Okay, so I guess after the whole Dressrosa, they got taken into custody, I'm guessing. And they're like, huh? He says, then are you saying you recreated the same devil fruit? When it comes to artificial devil fruits, only the zone type can be manufactured. And then it looks like we got a little note right here. It says, the special fruits that Vegapunk is referring to here is the mythical zone type. He didn't mention mythical zone per se, although the devil fruit images shown here are the mythical zone devil fruit includes Kaido and Yamato's mythical zone devil fruit, so that adds to the context. All right, so showing a little context into what we're seeing and everything like that. And then what do we got? It's like, so just like Caesar's outrageous smile, yeah, that person should just die already. No, he's like, yeah, he should just die already. But, okay, so we see Vegapunk, and he's thinking right here, and he's like, if I have a large amount of money and time, the special fruits can also be reproduced, although whether you can awaken them is still unconfirmed. Okay, so he's saying, yeah, I can make these devil fruits, but we've never had a case so far where anyone's been able to awaken them. But he's not saying for sure, like, oh, they can't be awakened. We just have no confirmation yet. So does that mean we're going to see someone with an artificial devil fruit later on in the story that's going to be, find some way to awaken their devil fruit? That'd be pretty hype. And he's like, regarding the Logia type, I've done all I can, but reproducing those is very difficult. Okay, so Frankie's kind of just looking on, like, in awe of him, like, wait, what? He's like, but in the case of the Paramecia type, I found that if you can get a hold of the user's lineage factor, you can refine a special blood type and administer it, which will help acquire that user's ability. That is, the blood flowing through their bodies. And we see Frankie's kind of like getting like this concerned look, like, hey, you're talking a lot about using people's blood and lineage factor. Like, you guys think that this process they're talking about, you have to drain enough blood out of him to kill the devil fruit user? But the way, Vegapunk is talking about it, he makes it seem like Senor Pink is still in Impel Down. He didn't say he died from the experiment. He's like, okay, next panel. He's like, I call it green blood. And then, okay, it looks like we're looking at the Seraphim's arm right there. And I guess this is supposed to be like a clear spot that you can see through it. And I guess that's what's supposed to be the green blood, whenever this gets animated or when it gets colorized. And then we see him looking at it. He's like, you created that blood? So Frankie's like freaking out right now. He's looking at it. And then we see, Boa's Seraphim right there, trying to using the Mero. And then we see Mello, and she starts turning everybody to stone right there. So, I guess they were, since the warlords were with the world government long enough and, had to listen to them, Vegapunk was able to get his hands on enough of this lineage factor, because we know that Boa is not dead, and she still has her power. So, but the Seraphim is able to reproduce her devil fruit powers. And then he's like, I regard the Seraphim as Ursus Shock. And we see the little Kuma right there, the Kuma Seraphim. He's got the paw fruit on his hand, the highest peak of science in the history of the seas. And we just see Kuma's Seraphim is just messing everything up. You see massive, like, explosion. And he's like, I call them the strongest humans. So we just see Vegapunk. He's like, I call them the strongest humans. And then we go, and then, okay, next panel, you see Frankie's eyes. He's got the hearts in his eyes. He's, like, all in love with what he's hearing. You see Usopp. He's, like, just freaking out. He's crying. He's got snot running down his nose. Nami's even looking a little surprised right there. And he's like, so is that the reason why they disbanded the 7 warlords? What in the world have you created? So, maybe that's why. Maybe Vegapunk perfected his study of the devil fruits and the lineage factor and reproducing Paramecias and the different zone types. So once he had kind of solidified and got his research locked in place, there kind of was no need for having actual pirates, because we know that they don't really listen to them. But these Seraphims, as long as you're in the chain of command for their authority, you can issue them orders and they're just going to listen to you. And then we see Sanji, he's like, so essentially, these guys are the Marines' weapons. And we see Robin, she got a little sweat bead running down her forehead. She's like, yes, basically it's a threat to us. Okay. And then we're going, okay, we just got more explosions going on down there with Cipher Pol and the Seraphims battling it out, it looks like. He's like, he's still trying to get up. And then what do we got right there? Okay, we see Lucci, he's like cracking his neck over there, coming out of the wall. And he's got this big old grin on his face. We see Sentomaru in the next panel. He's still got blood, flowing out of his mouth and everything. He's kind of grimacing in pain, it looks like. And then we see he's using one of the Rokushiki techniques, the Soru, the shave. So you just see, he disappears, and we see Sentomaru looks like he knows what's about to come. And then what? You guys seeing this? We see Lucci, his massive head, as Lucci's rushing in. And it literally looks like he's about to eat Lucci. He's just like, all right, Luffy. And then we see Lucci kind of like stopping it. He's like, strut. And we just see Luffy just chomp down on him right now. All right, it's going to be hilarious if we see like Lucci in the mouth, like, the hands and arms going through the cheeks and stuff, like how you see in cartoons. Oh, man. And we see Luffy, and he gets up, and he's got a big old mouthful right there. Oh, he missed. Damn, I thought he got him. So he didn't get, okay, I missed it. So you can see it in the panel when he bites down, you see, the little jagged line of where Lucci kind of escaped through. But then Luffy takes all the rubble that he, kind of chewed up and bit right there, and he starts spitting it at Lucci as Lucci's kind of coming back in. He's like, hitting his cheeks. And then we see Lucci, he's like breaking through all of it. He's in his hybrid form still. We see Luffy jumping down right there. All right, what the hell's about to happen? Oh, no, he's not jumping down. He jumped back into the big, I guess probably a steel cable or something, but he turned it into rubber since he's in his Gear 5th form, and he's going to use it kind of like a slingshot, it looks like. Yeah, he's getting ready. He's stretching it back in the panel. You see Lucci down there, and we see Luffy going back as far as he can in it. And then what do we got this? Poof! And we see Luffy grab some glasses and put on some glasses, and they're twinkling right there. And then all of a sudden we just see the thing shoot him right there, and he's just flying out of it. And then it says dawn, and we see Lucci's eye. He's just like that. Oh shit, he's about to hit me. And we just see Rocket, and he just nails right into Lucci. Oh, damn. Like, hard enough that you can see, like, the back part of Lucci coming out from where Luffy's impact is still, like, going through him and everything. So, and it looks like we got some blood kind of spurting out of his mouth right there. And then it says, what the hell is this power? So Lucci's on the ground right there. He's got blood out of his mouth, but he's still in his hybrid form. And he's on the ground, but he's like, what the hell is this power? And then next panel, you see Luffy. He's still over there just laughing his ass off. And then Lucci's like, oh, damn. He's like, my consciousness is fading. So this is all kind of, I guess, his thought process right there. And then we see Chopper looking on. He's like, oh, it's through here. Hurry up. Okay, so we see Jinbei. He's still running with Bonnie in his arms. And then we see the boa Seraphim, and she's like, that's the vacuum rocket. Hurry up and get on it. So the Seraphim is, over here helping out the Straw Hat. So that's pretty cool. And Jinbei's like, why, thank you. You're so much kinder than the Hancock I know. All right, Jinbei talking a little shit on Boa right there. He's like, you insolent being. I'm just following orders. That's all. So maybe the Seraphim, realizes that they're pirates, but the fact that they're, she's receiving an order to assist them. So she doesn't like assisting them, but she kind of has to assist them. And says 1 minute before departure. And we see Chopper, he's screaming at Luffy. He's like, hey, Luffy, hurry up. And what do we got? Okay, so we see Luffy. He's got the dots coming out of his mouth. He looks a little concerned at what he's seeing. He's like, please refrain from last minute boarding. And then we see Sentomaru over there, and he's like, Straw Hat, I entrust Old Man Punk to you. All right, damn. Okay, so Sentomaru entrusting, someone that he obviously cares a lot about, to a pirate. But because Sentomaru has, obviously he's fought Luffy, he's seen kind of what Luffy's about, how he acted, in the War of the Best. He's probably heard the stories, he's worked with the Navy, so he's heard the real stories of how things have gone down, not, the twisted tales that have been told in the news crew and stuff like that. So for Sentomaru to have this kind of change of heart, or I guess, lack of option, but still being willing to actually entrust Vegapunk to Luffy, that says a lot about kind of just what Luffy's able to do by his character, the things that he's able to do. He's kind of able to impress his, quote unquote enemies to the point where even they trust him to a certain extent. So that's pretty cool. And we see Luffy, he's like, okay, we'll definitely get him off this island. And then we see the rocket, it says departing now, and it doesn't look like Luffy's on it yet. And then what do we got? Oh no, it is. Okay, he's like, too fast, where? Huh? Where is this? So we see Bonnie, she starts waking up and she's kind of freaking out right now. And she's like, where's Vegapunk? So she still wants to, massacre Vegapunk. He's like, so you're awake. We're in the vacuum rocket. We see Chopper in the background. He's not looking like he's loving this. He's like, we see Jinbei. He's like, this is quite the ride. And then for some reason, okay, so Luffy's all gassed out because he used Gear 5th probably. So he's kind of like, his tongue is hanging out. His face is all droopy looking. And they're like, who the hell are you? He's like, a lot has happened. Luffy will explain things later. Alright, so they're trying to get out of Dodge, make it link up with the rest of the Straw Hats and, find some way to get Vegapunk off this island with Cipher Pol kind of, chasing them. But luckily, Luffy looked like he was able to take out Lucci, and Lucci passed out. And it says, from Fabrio phase to lab phase. And we just see this big tube, like, going around, and the thing is shooting through it. He's like, time travel, 32 seconds. And we just see Luffy's just, tongue hanging out. And then all of a sudden, inside lab phase, you have arrived. That was fast. So we see the lab, it looks like a little capsule, kind of just arrived right there. It says, subsequent trips are canceled. Okay, so it looks like they're shutting off the rocket so that they can't be followed by anyone. And what do we got next? Alright, so we see Punk Records up at the top right there, and it says, fortifying the Egg Frontier Dome. Danger, intruder alert. Egghead Frontier Dome, excuse me. Danger, intruder alert. When all of the researchers are inside the factory will initiate lockdown. Alright, so all the citizens and people that work there, they're getting locked inside the factory for their own safety, I'm guessing. And then what do we got here? And they're like, in a way, he's commendable. He fulfilled his duty as Vegapunk's bodyguard. Damn! It looks like they're just standing on top of Sentomaru right there. And they're like, too bad, Sentomaru. And we just see all this blood, Sentomaru's face. I can't really tell if he's supposed to be like unconscious or, what's going on. And we see Kaku kind of looking over side-eyed. And then what do we got next? Okay, we see Stussy. What she got to say is like, we've been ordered to wait for the Marines. If we wait, they will most likely escape. Alright, so Lucci's like, alright, we got orders to wait, but if we wait, they're gonna escape. But again, this is Luffy. He is now considered, a Yonko. You have to have permission in order to engage with his crew. You can't just be all, willy-nilly just attacking them like how when they were just a regular pirate crew before. So even the Navy now kind of got their hands tied in rules as far as dealing with Luffy that they kind of got to abide by, or, someone's ass is going to get chewed out. And then what do we got? Okay, we're going back to the lab phase. It says, are you really being targeted? You're the smartest man alive, right? Won't you be an asset loss for the government? All right, so everyone is kind of freaking out, or not freaking out, but they're like, wait, if you're the smartest man alive, like, why is the government trying to kill you? Wouldn't that be like a major loss for them? And he's like, what? You think the smartest man alive will be hostile against you? He's like, I don't have any intention of being like that. But we see Vegapunk, and we see Nami's over there pointing to herself. He's like, oh, you're right. He's just going to be dead weight. Eliminate him. Don't easily say eliminate. Usopp's back there. He's like, hey, don't say easily eliminate him. He's like, on a time like this, an Emperor's crew arrived at this place. I can only think of it as fate. So we already know, Luffy's especially lucky. He's, got fate on his side, it seems. And then what do we got here? Okay. So we see Nami, Usopp, Sanji. We got Robin. Looks like we got Frankie in the back right there. He's all fired up. He's like, oh, you're going to take a ride on in our ship? You are more than welcome. So Frankie's all stoked. He's like, yeah, you can come on my ship. Yeah, let me show you what I've done. Let me show you some of the things I've been working on. He's like, please take a look at General Frankie, the Sunny too, while you're at it. So maybe he's gonna be getting some tips and tricks. Maybe he's gonna, talk to Vegapunk about the things that he remembers from the Pluton and some upgrades that they could possibly make to the Sunny. That would be pretty hype. And then what do we got? What? He'll just be a burden. So Nami wants nothing to do with this. She's like, no. He's just gonna be a burden. Let's leave his ass here. And then we see Sanji's like, hey, if that's the case, remove these foot shackles from us, you insolent man. Okay, so they're still locked up with these foot shackles. And what do we got? So we see Luffy. He's looking around. He's like, "Woo, this is an amazing place." And then it says medical treatment and repairs for Master Atlas ASAP. All right, so Atlas, we saw her take some damage in the, I think it was 2 or 3 chapters ago. So it looks like we're trying to get some repairs done for her, get her fixed up a little bit. And then we see Bonnie. Bonnie's still looking pissed right there. So I'm guessing she still wants Vegapunk's head. He's like, I'll leave it to you guys. Bonnie, where are you going? And she's like, as she's walking away, she looks back and she's got this real nasty look on her face. Like, if Vegapunk ignores me about restoring my dad back to normal, then killing him is my only option. That's just venting out your anger. All right, so, she's still pissed. She passed out before she could get her answers or, the answers to her satisfaction from Vegapunk about why he did what he did to Kuma. And then what do we got here? Okay, damn. So with Sentomaru taken out, it looks like Cipher Pol has been able to wrangle in the Seraphims. And we see, so we got the Boa, we got Jinbei, we got the Kuma, and the Mihawk Seraphim. And it looks like Lucci's back up on his feet right there. We still got Kaku and Stussy, plus a bunch of the other regular Cipher Pol guys. And it says, block every escape route from the island. Yes, sir. If we include the main body, there are 6 left, right? Well, the defense system is quite formidable. And we see the bird, Hattori, I think his name is, cooing. He's like, I won't let a single soul escape from this island. Okay, Lucci, a little bit determined. And, he kind of has a thing with Luffy, and especially since Luffy beat him last time. So let's see, what do we got? Okay, it looks like we got a battleship approaching right there. And we see, so the Straw Hat crew becomes Vegapunk's allies. And we see the Marine flag right there. And okay, in the last panel, we get Borsalino right here. He's like, that means it's going to be easy for them to escape. But I suspect things aren't going to go the way they think. Proceed as planned. Bring as many warships as possible to Egghead. Damn, they're going in after Luffy right now. This ain't even a buster call. It's literally bring everything we got right now. We're coming at him. And it says, the supreme military strength of the Marines approaches. Okay. So maybe Kizaru got some orders from Akainu, and he's like, yo, let's take this opportunity, kill 2 birds with 1 stone, Vegapunk, the Straw Hat Pirates, massacre them, send everybody we got, take out an emperor right now. Let's shift the balance back into our favor some more. So, damn. Okay, pretty good chapter. We got some Luffy versus Lucci. We got Kizaru showing up. We got a little bit of redemption from my man Sentomaru. Him showing that trust in Luffy as far as being responsible for Vegapunk and getting him off of Egghead Island safely. Sentomaru entrusted that to Luffy, even though, technically they were kind of enemies. Kind of reminds me of a Garp / Roger situation. Roger, you're my enemy, but I trust you. You're a good man. Take care of my child. He has nothing, specifically to do with this. In this sense, yeah, Vegapunk does have something to do with it, but still, he's dear to Sentomaru, and Sentomaru has realized that he can entrust his safety, Vegapunk's safety, to Luffy, and Luffy will make sure that nothing happens to him. So that's pretty hype. We got this big armada, I guess, or whatever it's gonna be, of battleships heading to Egghead Island right now. But all the while, we still have not gone back and seen what's going on with Law and Blackbeard. Who's coming out as the victor? What's going on? Where's my man Kobe at? What does Pudding have to do with it? Are we going to have Big Mom and Kaido showing back up? Because we didn't see bodies, so I do not believe that they're dead. And Big Mom straight up said this wasn't, when she got taken out, that it wouldn't be enough to kill her. So, yeah, man, there's a lot of stuff that we still need to, I don't want to say tie up because it's way too far from tying up, but you know, maybe flashback, kind of give us an update, see what's going on. But I'm feeling this stuff between Cipher Pol and the Straw Hats right now, kind of giving me Ennis Lobby vibes again, so that's pretty cool. Hopefully we get to see Kaku and Stussy kind of duke it out with some of the Straw Hats. Maybe Jinbei taking on his child Seraphim, see who's stronger, you know, something like that. And are we actually going to see maybe Luffy versus Kizaru, you know, Luffy taking on his first admiral kind of by himself and defeating him? Like, is that about to happen? Because Green Bull got taken out by Shanks Hockey, so we didn't get to see that fight. And the last time we saw, you know, we saw Luffy kind of interact with Fujitora, but it wasn't like a full-on fight. So it'd be kind of interesting to see if we shift from Lucci being kind of the main villain right now to Kizaru kind of becoming the main villain since he's stronger. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this chapter. Little early Christmas present. Chapter came a day early, so that's pretty awesome. And yeah, let me know if you guys like this chapter, if you guys think we're going right back into seeing what battleships are coming, or we're going to flash back to something else right before the end of the year. But other than that, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, have a wonderful day.